now a completely different arrangement from what I intended. But I think that's everybody I don't know if you guys are there, just let me know. Sorry I'm starting so late. I don't know if you guys are there, just let me know. Sorry I'm starting so late. I don't know if you guys are there, just let me know. Sorry I'm starting so late. I don't know if you guys are there, just let me know. Sorry. Okay, I had to stop that. Good. So here we are. Just trying to put this in and then we can get gold. I really do hope that a lot of people join this and that you guys have some questions. Otherwise, it's just going to be me talking to myself all the time. So, and that's really, really boring. How do you do this? Okay, we can do this way. Okay, a lot better now with the phone. And yeah, let's see if anybody's there. Sorry. Okay. Uh, okay, a lot better. So, how are we doing? Hello, YouTube. It's been ages. Sorry. Okay, now this works well. Okay. Oh, finally. Yeah. It's been ages. It's been God knows. It's been a long time I've been on YouTube. Yeah. Anybody who is interested in knowing why I've been away, it's life. So just that's what I can say. It's just life. I have not planned to be away for so long. But yeah, it's just life. And what can I say? So I think that there's quite. Oh yeah, I'm also happy to see you, Tifang. I hope I got the name right. And I'm happy that there's at least a couple of people on the stream. What I intend to talk about, I think I want to really make this relaxing. I just told myself I really want to get back to YouTube. I want to just talk with everybody, get questions. I'm not sure if I'm very happy to also make this call or this stream also go in the direction of however the questions come, what you guys want me to talk about. But what I just wanted to chat about is just what's new in data science and AI. So for example, if anybody's trying to get in anew, what should you be looking at? And also maybe just share with you some of the things I'm doing right now in terms of courses. Sorry about my shirt and the way it looks. Like I said, life, my hands have been full. That's just as much as I can disclose in public about my life for me. And there's just no time with YouTube. But I'm hoping that I'm trying to put some things sorry, I'm trying to put some things in order now, and I'm hoping that I can get back to YouTube. And one of the things I want to talk about when I really want to focus the channel more in the direction of data science and AI, really. So it's really good to be also now. I want to focus the channel more in direction of data science and AI because I think that it's not maybe enough for us to just talk about data science any longer. If we really want to be competitive in the job market today, you should be interested in all AI, LLMs, and the likes. I think that gives a very good advantage to 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 your quests if you're just getting into the field. So yeah, I was always interested in me looking at TV or you are interested in talking to me, specific questions about your journey, and you are very happy for everybody to know your name and your details, I think this is a good time for you to just steal me and talk about it. Maybe we would, maybe we will just make this call go for, I don't know, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Hopefully, I have up to that, and then we will see where we are at. And of course, like I said, I'm really do hoping that a lot of people ask me questions and I don't just end up talking to myself. So, guys, have mercy on me and have mercy on me and ask me questions. But we can get started and just talk about. We can just talk about what is new in the field, or maybe I make this. I don't know how do I this. Skills in AI now. I would still go with the usual run. So of course, if you're looking to get into data science or AI, Python is very key. I think if already when you talk about AI, I might be wrong, and I stand to be corrected. If anybody knows better, please feel free to write a comment about this. But you definitely have to learn Python. I think if we still talk about data science or data analytics, then that's where the argument of data science is it Python or R that you should be learning. But so far, what I have seen with learning library, like for example, LangChain and all of those transformers, for example, you definitely have to master Python. So Python is definitely a key language I'll be asking anybody to learn and to master. I For some reason sometimes I struggle to actually recommend books on Python, but I got a book recently that looks good. I can share with anybody who is interested. Because I basically learned Python by doing. I learned MATLAB during my masters, and so when I picked up Python, I basically just tried to transfer all of my knowledge from MATLAB to Python, with only just learning the so to say the specialties of Python. But long story short, you have to learn Python, key libraries, pandas, the NumPy, scikit-learn. So if you want to do, there's no way you're learning machine learning without without thinking about scikit-learn. There's absolutely no way you can get past that library. So you have to master that for core machine learning. So this is traditional machine learning, of course. Deep learning, of course, will be important. So you're talking about PyTorch, TensorFlow as well, LangChain transformers as well for LLM and the likes. Of course, the usual libraries for visualization, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, and the likes like that. So definitely those are key. I think for LLMs, LangChain, and transformers, I have a video in my channel where I talked about how to build an AI model that is able to summarize a PDF document for you. So you can look for that video. And there we were using transformers, and we were using transformers, I think, in that video. So it could be a good starting point if you want to learn about transformer library in the for something like that. One of the things I'm beginning to see also with AI generally is the fact that a lot of these platforms like AWS, a friend was telling me about AWS, Microsoft, I've seen a lot. They are really integrating AI into almost all of their products. So you actually don't even need to learn. You don't need to learn how to build some of these things from scratch, which is sort of the nice way to learn them. But if you just understand where they are in the platform, you can just call them. And I saw a demo of a friend that built an AI agent that could be a customer care representative and get feedback from the customer and respond back to the customer. And this is why this is very interesting, because it's just a very big paradigm shift from what we used to have. So the field is really getting stretched. And for you to keep your job, you actually have to begin to think about what every company is sort of looking for, how to of looking for how to incorporate AI into their workflow to make it easier, to make it faster. Of course, I see there's a problem for that, and this is one of the reasons why I'm taking time to also talk about it. I teach data science, and one of the errors that I've seen people make is they don't want to learn the fundamentals any longer. They just want to ask ChatGPT to teach them. If you see someone who knows the fundamentals and is using ChatGPT to help them with the redundant work, that's a different thing. For example, on my channel, I have a video where I was explaining how you can use ChatGPT to actually get your work faster. And a lot of the things I was saying in that video is using ChatGPT, for example, to build requirements, to build your README file, to write your requirement file and basically maybe add comments to your code. And that's sort of the limit that I would want to use ChatGPT for, not to ask ChatGPT to write me a full query, a full code of what I should do. I want to think through, my codes. And this is the error that I've seen a lot of people who are learning now. They basically just want to throw their questions into ChatGPT and get the whole code. It works sometimes, but oftentimes when you read through, you will see that ChatGPT also hallucinates and probably doesn't do things in the right way you want it to do. For example, recently I was asking ChatGPT to build I think maybe write a script for me about a problem, and I asked it to use this specific library, and it told me, oh, he actually wrote the solution for me. But then I went through the solution and then I go like, no, this is not what I asked you to do. I wanted to use a specific library. And then he told me, oh yeah, that library, I don't have that library. Maybe I don't have access to that library. Could you? But I could use this other one, the one he used in the solution. I go like, so thankfully I actually went through it and saw it. So, but a lot of people don't actually take that pain to go through the solutions. They just copy equal and singular. And I've seen this firsthand because I teach and then I'm giving my student assignment and they are basically copying solutions from ChatGPT. And it leaves me to wonder, do they really understand what I'm teaching them? And I think that's the problem that we are facing now. And it's a disadvantage, really. Of course, ChatGPT should be used well, but I think there should be a limit to it, basically. There's a question here. Hi, Inwosa. I hope I got your name right. If I didn't get it right, apologies. Hi, Sam. What about deep learning in data science? I think deep learning has been for a while. Already 2018 or so, when I was doing my bootcamp, we were already learning deep learning, doing computer vision, for example. We were already doing neural networks, learning about neural networks, using PyTorch, TensorFlow already at that time. And we're doing LSTMs, which I would consider like a building block for the LLMs that we have today. So yeah, definitely. I think the understanding of neural networks, for example, LSTMs and all, helped you to understand the way LLMs work now and transformers. I think what is also important is when you understand LLMs, then you can also build them. You can instantiate and build the whole infrastructure, and probably also in your CV, think about what are interesting projects that you can implement, and then you can put that into your CV, and I think generally that helps. I hope I was able to answer your question, Osa. So definitely deep learning is, or what exactly do you want me to talk about with deep learning? You can also let me know. Talking about what you should be learning if you want to get into AI, and I think that there's a lot of openings with AI right now, guys. So if you're looking in that direction, absolutely respect that. There's a lot of demand for AI jobs right now. I was just reading some statistics. I'm going to read some of them to you. It says here that 97 million new jobs by 2025 that will be using AI and automation, global AI market size. And you also see a lot of downsizing really now with Microsoft and all of these guys that downsize. Why? Because they say, oh, there is an AI. I think that the companies are not going to say AI is going to build codes, write codes for me. For example, was reading through an article that was talking about a particular AI company, Builder.ai, that filed for insolvency. And basically, what that company was trying to do was to say that there's an AI that will computer apps for you and the likes. But then this it filed for insolvency because it was the AI help was actually not true. They actually just hired some Indian guys to to be writing the codes in the back end. So I think there's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype, but at the same time, there's a lot of opportunities, is what I'm saying. And then you see actually a lot of these data science roles, companies that would actually I normally hire for data science roles. They actually not even hiring for data science roles any longer. They are hiring for AI engineer roles, which is actually a glorified data science role, but with more emphasis on AI and LLMs and the like. Um, so yeah, definitely you want to get yourself ready. And I think even if you're a data scientist already, you have a job now, definitely you should be. I've seen firsthand that if you are just very knowledgeable about AI agents, how they work, and all of those kind of things, and you can combine that knowledge with cloud infrastructure, for example, or data engineering, you will be in hot demand, and you can build experience around that. You'll be in hot demand, really. So, yeah, I'm just basically sharing with you how I'm trying to improve myself as well as a person. By the way, for those who are interested to know, during my time off on YouTube, I actually built a course. So I just talked about data engineering and it just popped in my mind. If you are interested in learning data engineering, you want to learn, I wrote a course on data ingestion with pandas. It's more data engineering. How do you get data from different sources like CSV files, flat files, Excel sheets, APIs, JSON files? I think those are basics that if you're a data engineer or you're trying to become a data engineer, that you should know. A platform called Data Science 365. Data 365 Data Science, I think it's called. Check it out. I think it's an amazing course. I'll be also waiting for your feedback. If you think it's too difficult or it's too simple, let me know. And something else is in the pipeline, by the way. But yeah, you can check that course out. So that was one of the things I was doing while I was away from YouTube. Um, what else? Okay, I can't call your name. I hope I said Omkag, but let me just read the question. Hi, Samson. Thanks for the session. What are the basics that want us to be feeding before proceeding to AI? I think that was just what I was trying to get through. Before I started to talk about something else, I started to talk about the demand for AI. I talked about Python, of course, definitely very important. I think because the ecosystem around AI demands it, you should master Python. And at this point, I wouldn't even ask you to do R. I'll just tell you Python because that's really recommended. Second thing, some mathematics, statistics. I think really the same mathematics and statistics that you know for your data science should get you through. And I'm saying data science and AI like they are two different concepts, but technically they are not really two different concepts. I think there's a big overlap. There's a lot of talk about that. Machine learning is inside data science, for example. Deep learning is a smaller unit of machine learning, and AI. Maybe some people say, oh yeah, it has an intersection with data science, or it is inside data science. Really depends on you, but I think that the same mathematics and statistics that you need to understand, for example, your A/B testing, neural networks, how they work, is linear regression, all of those kind of things is enough for you to understand what you're trying to do with AI. Helps you to build a background as well. Machine learning, definitely you have to understand machine learning. I think definitely understand machine learning, building models, deploying models. MLOps would also be important. How do you CI/CD? How do you continuous integration and continuous deployment? So like ML flow, understanding like Docker and stuff like that helps you generally to understand the whole machine learning infrastructure, because those same libraries that you most likely go through when you're building your AI models as well. So machine learning development, So you understand, for example, linear regression, logistic regression, trees, gradient boosted trees. How do they work? Why do they work? Setting them up. So scikit-learn is definitely something you should already understand before we even start talking about LLMs and MLOps and the likes. Um, what else? This live is actually looking interesting to me. Maybe I should be doing a live session every Sunday. What do you guys think? Let me know if you want me to be doing a live session every Sunday. Where I just talk to you guys and I just answer questions. It's actually a lot easier to do a live session than to record a video and think about what I want to say and then edit them. Maybe now, yes, okay. Maybe now that I am too lazy to record videos, just doing a live session every now and then is probably a better idea. Um, then okay, we talked about machine learning, LLMs definitely very important. So you want to understand generative AI, and like I said, guys, some of for LLMs, I took a course last year that I can recommend. I probably recommended this in some of my videos already. It's called LLM Zoom Camp by Data Talks Club. So you can search for that online. LLM Zoom Camp by Data Talks Club. I took the course last year and it was amazing. They basically teach you literally everything about LLMs, how to build your LLM models, how to score your LLM models, checking their accuracy and the likes. I enjoyed it. It was a good one and it's free. It's completely online as well. You can check it out as well. It's completely free. I think they even just started a new one last week or 2 weeks ago. And my information might not be correct, but check it out. Data Talks Club. I already maybe talked about it in some of my videos. So you learn about like the open models like Llama 3, Mistral, for example. Of course, there will be the open AI models, for example. But of course, with the open AI models, you can't actually have the models on your computer. You can connect to their API, and you can also think about what you do with that. I think I have a video on my YouTube channel where I actually used this LLM model. What did I do with it? Was I trying to ask it to write me a message, and then I sent the message via WhatsApp? So, oh yeah, yes, they started one recently, LLM Zubcam. I think it's really good, so I can recommend it if you want to get started with LLMs. And I think already if you learn that course, you're already at a good place for understanding. Would I make a record? Yeah, I think the live will always be there on the channel, so anybody can actually go back even after to watch everything I'm saying. So, I think that's the way live should work. This is the second live I'm doing, so my understanding of lives might not be perfect, but I think they should be it should be recorded and be there. Okay, so data engineering pipelines. One of the things about being a data scientist is the fact that you're expected to understand the whole spectrum of data science or data. So you should understand some things about data engineering, understand some things about data analytics, for example. And that's why I love data science. I lead a team right now, and I lead a team of data analysts and data scientists, but I also do a lot of so you should expect to know some data engineering. SQL, I think everybody should know SQL. If you are a machine learning engineer or a data scientist or a data analyst, you should definitely know SQL. Deep knowledge of SQL, because if you work in a company, you most likely have just databases and you need to write a query to get data out of their databases. Um, Airflow is another one that I've seen that I've worked with that is really important as well. So, for example, I talked about the course that I built about connecting to data APIs. You should know basic things like that. I wouldn't call myself a data engineer, but I know enough. I know well enough to be able to build a course out of it. So, connecting to APIs, connecting, for example, to JSON files. How do you transfer data from a JSON file, for example, to a Panda frame? Because when you do that, then you can get your data ready for analytics or get your data ready for machine learning development and stuff like that. So very important. Web scraping. It's sort of outdated, except you're doing your own personal job, but at least you should understand all of those kind of things as well. So that's it about data engineering. So we're just basically talking about skills you should learn if you're trying to become an AI engineer, or you're trying to go into AI and stuff like that. Then another thing, of course, cloud and deployment skills. So AWS, for example, you should understand. One of the things I've seen is that at least you should understand some very familiar with some sort of cloud infrastructure. In my first job, I was using a lot of Azure. In my previous job, in my boot camp, we're using AWS a lot. We're using AWS a lot. And in my present job, I use GCP a lot. So I sort of understand where things are. I wouldn't call myself a guru, but I think I know enough to just get my job done. So, for example, on AWS S3 buckets, for example, EC2 instances, you have something similar also on GCP. I don't know the name, instances they are called, but then you can spin up like a server and then you can connect to that server. You can also use them to deploy your model. So you can build a model locally and then deploy them maybe on Streamlit and then connect that to like on GCP will be Cloud Run. You can deploy that on Cloud Run, get a link for that, and people will be interacting with your model like like as if it's a web server and stuff like that, and gets the job done. So depending on be very familiar with all of those kind of things. DB So I think DPT helps you to build models with data. So data models, they call it. So you can have data in some sort of form. You can write a SQL query to transfer the data. So it's also part of your you understanding like the whole ETL pipeline. I haven't worked with DBT as much. I learned it, but I haven't worked with DBT as much in my current job as well. But it could also be something that is very important for you to master as well. Yeah, so DBT is also sort of good. There's just a lot of tools really, and one of the problems I personally have is I learn some of these things and I just don't actively use them, and because I don't actively use them, my confidence level in them is not the highest. But anyways, so let us go. Yeah, so I think really one of the things I would also recommend if you're trying to get into AI and all of this kind of talks is, guys, try to read one of that. This is what I'm doing for myself, and this is free advice. Try to read AI articles, just to know about what's going on. Go for AI, go for AI conferences. You just find one of the most of the things I've found about these AI things is they are now called new names, and it's those new names I need to know. Why I said new names is there's really nothing really different from them from what I have personally learned or known, but because they're just called new names and they are somewhat different from what everybody addresses them to be, it means that I actually have to tell myself, I have to inform myself about it. So you see, for example, but AI agents is like the new craze now, and everybody's building AI agent. Let's build an AI agent. And an AI agent is actually basically an LLM model that you have instructed to get to do something, and it does that, and it can interact back to you. And there's now AI agent, there's the agency, and there's a course. And by the way, I'm taking the AI agent course with Hugging Face, and I can recommend it. I can recommend it as well. So basically, I think the whole AI hype is nice. It's good for it's good for. Otherwise, I won't have a job. It's good to create demand. But the problem, however, is just the fact that we all as a data scientist myself, everybody needs to keep owning their skills and getting themselves in tune with what the new latest reality of the ecosystem and everything is. So yeah, I think one thing with LLMs, if you already know data science, you already know the basics of machine learning and deep learning, and you're trying to just add AI to it, then definitely take the course on LLMs. Would give you a good background. Read AI articles, AI journals. One of my friend is doing one of my friend has a platform called Don't Fear AI. He basically just writes stories about AI around the world, and just getting yourself into that vibe generally helps. By the way, also a good point to say this. I am going to be releasing a mentoring circle. So a lot of people write me and say, "Hey, could you mentor me? Could you disciple, not disciple? Could you teach me? I want to get into data science." I finally have been able to put something together, and So really good to be able to put something together. One of the reasons why it has taken this long is also because I want it to be worth people's time. So I don't want a situation where you're wasting my time and I'm wasting your time and it's not worth it. And I found that for some of the things I know them, for some it's better for me to actually get some of my friends that I'm very, very sure about their knowledge base to actually come to teach them. So I finally released a mentoring circle. It's going to be for 12 weeks. I've been able to put the structure together. 12 weeks, we will just focus on data science and AI. But one thing about the mentoring circle is that it's not for everybody. I have to be very sincere with you guys. If your knowledge of Python, for example, is very low or SQL is very low, it is not for you. So I already have and I already wrote a post about it on sorry, I already wrote a post about it on YouTube. I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can read about the article, you can read about it. What we will focus on, what I want to try to do is to sort of help people in the direction that I have seen them struggle a lot. So from my talking with people that write me and all, I think that a lot of people struggle not just to learn the concept, but they struggle with the hands-on part. So people learn, they go for boot camps, for example, like I did, or they learn, take a course online, but actually they struggle when you ask them to actually write the code and implement it. And that's where their confidence is low. And it's just a waste of time. So the idea is in that 12 weeks, I'm going to be doing a one-to-one mentoring, a one-to-one call with people. The whole week they were going to be having assignments, and I'm not going to be doing this alone. I have a friend who is an expert in data analytics who is going to be taking visualization. I have another friend who is going to be focusing on AI. We are also trying to really help people finish the course and get jobs. So we're also going to be talking about job readiness. I said I'm going to put the link in the chat. So let me put the link in the chat now. So you can read it. It's a Notion page, and you can just check it out. There's gonna be a friend talking about job readiness. She works at Amazon, so she as an aid as a technical recruiter, so she knows exactly what at that highest level what you should be preparing to get to and do and stuff like that. And yeah, so like I said, what else to say? And then there's going to be another friend who is going to be focusing also on ML ops. These are people that I've worked with and amazing people. They know their onions. And so 12 weeks of me just sitting down with 10 to 12 people maximum that I'm looking for to get in on the program. 10 to 12 people maximum, and they're going to be there and they're going to be having this one-to-one interaction with me for other people. The details are also on the Notion page, so you can read more about it. And we are open. This is the first run. I'm hoping that at the end of the day, my goal is to get everybody job ready. Basically, everybody who joins the program, get them job ready. But if you're getting into the program, know that it's going to take a lot of your time. So if you're just, it's going to be on the weekend. We are going to be taking classes. We are going to be giving you a lot the whole week, following week to come and present, listening to everybody, talking back to everybody, giving you feedbacks on a one-to-one basis, as well as a group as well. So you can sign up if you're interested. The idea to just be sure that the course is right for everybody. I would also be having a call with you. So if you sign up, I would have a call with you to just see where you are with your Python level, for example, with your Python, everything we'll be needing just to be sure that you are the right person. And so I don't want a situation where you pay money and you're not getting value for the money you pay. And you're like, oh, yeah, I wasted my time. And people pay a lot of money. I've spoken with people who have paid a lot of money, dollars, euros, naira, and they paid the money and they still don't get the value for what they say, oh, I didn't learn anything, or the course was just a waste of my time. So I really want to be sure that the people who are getting in on this course are actually people that it is intended for. Like I said, it's not for absolute beginners, really. So if you don't know anything in Python, you're just looking to get started, it's not for you. And there's also no promise that you finish, you get a job. I will try my best to get you job ready, but it's not like an internship is waiting for you somewhere or a job is waiting for you somewhere after the program, but it's going to be a valuable investment into your time. So I would recommend anybody to join. And of course, if you check the program out right now and you have any questions, please you can already ask me before we round off. Yeah. So I'm still going to be taking more questions as well. What else was I talking about? The LLM course I recommended. You can check that out as well. Deployments with Fast API, Flask, for example. Streamlit is I found Streamlit very easy, so I can also recommend Streamlit. And the likes. One of the things that I think is very, very also important when you learn AI, for example, is to know also like the AI ethics. There's a lot of talk in wherever company you work with. There's a lot of talk about, oh, AI, which kind of data you should release. You should I actually found something quite interesting. I was doing something with ChatGPT, was it some days or weeks ago, and I asked it the question, and it answered me, and the answer it gave me made me understand, made me see that he actually knew that I was Nigerian. So I said, why did you get, I then asked ChatGPT again, why did you answer with this example? And then he said, oh yeah, that I don't know anything about your data, the usual jargon. I don't know anything about your data. I don't save your data. I just saw this from this one line of example that you gave me, and the kind of question you asked me, it gave me the impression that you are from West Africa. I go like, so and that's the thing that a lot of companies are afraid of. They don't want a situation where any employee is copying. You are copying, even something as simple as just copying the error line in your code into ChatGPT. ChatGPT is reading all of those things line for line. It from the error line in your code, you can know the kind of company you work with. You can understand all of that. One of the things I found interesting, a trend that I found interesting on LinkedIn one time, was people asking ChatGPT, from the question that you draw a picture of my life. And it actually did draw a picture of their life, knowing if they had a family. For example, you asked it about questions about raising kids, or what you do with your child. So it knows that, oh, you most likely have a child. If you ask the questions about maybe cars, it will know that, oh, you're working with a company that deals with cars and stuff like that. So this guy actually learns and reads everything, and a lot of companies are pretty worried about all of those kind of things. So AI ethics is something that definitely, if you work with AI, you should also be wary of. You should also try to learn. um, yeah, I think that we already talked a lot about AI engineers and how they are in demand, and how much money they make. I think right now a lot of data scientists are basically calling themselves AI engineers, because if you call yourself an AI engineer, you make a lot more money. And if you say, oh, you can do AI and you have the things that you can show for it, projects, examples that you can show for it, you make a lot more money. So everybody's an AI engineer. I need to rebrand myself to and call myself an AI engineer, because you just make a lot more. You just make a lot more money generally, and I think the demand is there. So definitely would recommend anybody who is interested to go for it. And I think I gave a breakdown on the kind of things you should be looking to learn as well. Okay, so I'll stop there. I don't know if anybody has any question. I'll just take questions. You can ask me questions about anything, and anything on your mind that you really want to know. Ask me questions, and probably we do this kind of live session again. I think that might help me to get into YouTube again. I've been lazy really, but I'm hoping that I'll be back. I'll be back soon. I promise myself I'll be back soon. So, any questions before I go? the way I'm just looking at, I'm looking at this time. This period is. You have a question. You have a question up. I don't see the question. Maybe you just ask it again. How do you think the job market for data analysts and data scientists will develop? I think the job market for data scientists is beginning to decline a little. I might be wrong. Um, like I said, they're basically just branching into. So if you compare like where we were some 5 years ago, everybody's data scientist. So I want to go to data scientist. I want to go to data scientist. I think the hype is dying down. It's now AI that where the hype is, and sometimes you just want to put yourself in the middle of the hype because that's where you make a lot more money. So yeah, definitely. Definitely definitely, I think data science going learning data science is really, in my opinion, learning data science is really not different from learning AI. Just learn the basics, learn the machine learning, deep learning, then add AI, LLMs on top of that, and you're ready to go and have some very good practical experience. For data analytics, I think the demand is still there. It's always there. Their job is fixed. They know what a data analyst or a business analyst, for example, their demand is fixed, or a risk analyst. All of those are analytics. Analytics is not going anywhere, in my opinion. Analytics is going to be there. It's there. If you're good in analytics, you're good and you're there and you're fine and everybody loves you and you're happy and no problem. So that's my opinion. And absolutely there's no need to change. But of course, if you also want to change to if you also want to change to the AI engineering, I think you already have the prerequisites. Advice. I've given all the advice that I I've given all the advice that I have. Advice is difficult to give. You have to tell me exactly you have to tell me exactly what what kind of advice you want me to give. Advice on what? On making more money, or on changing jobs, negotiating for a better salary. Advice is too vague. How to catch up? Everybody's learning that. Everybody's trying to catch up, including myself. Everybody's trying to catch up, including myself. So you just try to catch up. Just try to look for what is the in thing and try to catch up and try to read and try to figure things out as you go. Yeah, so guys, check out the program, of course, and if you think that it's something for you, I'll be very happy to receive you on the course. It's going to start this month by my plan. So, but I'm going to reach out to everybody who signs up, and then we would see where we are. So check out the course. If you think it's something for you, definitely sign up, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you as well. I think I would spend maybe a couple more minutes, and then I would let everybody go home, or I will be going. So I already put the link. I already shared the link of the course. Check it out, and in the chat, check it out, and yeah, let's see. Someone said many tools are out. How can we focus on one? I think, yeah, there's a lot. One of the things I try to engage with the tools I learn is, first of all, where I'm at right now. My company, where I'm at right now. What do we need? I use that to gauge. The second thing is I also look at the demand, the use case. A lot of people are using this. Why are they using this? And then I learn that basically, because one of the things I found is fact that there are a lot of tools that can almost do the same job basically. Um so you can basically you can figure out, okay, this is in demand, this is well used, and if I learn this, It might, and one of the things is also if you learn a particular tool, you probably might be able to move on to another tool if need be easier. So I just generally look for which one is in demand, which one is easy for learn and stuff like that. And it's the ecosystem we are. That's the way things are. Is there any course or is there any course to the science AI agent? Yeah, I don't know. There's a course that I'm taking right now on Organ Face AI agent. Looks solid. So you can check that. You can check that out. That's the one I'm taking. I haven't done any other one. I took an AI course with Andrew Ng as well some weeks ago. So you can check that out as well if you want. But when I saw the course, it wasn't really deep for a data scientist like me, but it was just good to just hear from Andrew NGC because he's a leader in the course. It wasn't deep in the sense of I was looking for something technical, not like Andrew NG doesn't know what he's saying, guys. I don't know as much as Andrew NG, but it wasn't just as technical as I wanted to be. But I think it was more talking to leaders, company leaders, and the like. So just to clarify what I mean by it wasn't deep. No. But I took some topics from there, and I basically just moved on to something else. Any other question? It's the season where we are looking at who our club has signed. So that's what I'm looking at now. Who Chelsea has signed? Okay, then I think maybe that's all. Thank you so much, guys. At the beginning of this live session, I was worried that I was gonna be the only one just speaking to myself. But some of you showed up and waited for me even when I had problems with starting. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I'm happy that a lot of you joined the call, joined the mentoring circle, and I'm able to see you one on one, and we can talk more. And probably you hear from me now as well, probably with live sessions more like this, or just videos that I would release as well. I'm trying to take a lot of thought into my videos. If I don't have anything to say, I don't just want to record a video because it's also depressing for you to record a miserable views. So I also want to take the time to really do something that I think is worthwhile, and not just anything. But either ways, thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, if you have any questions, unfortunately, I might not be able to answer now, but maybe you drop a comment on one of my videos and I'll probably reply. I check them actually, I see the comments. So if you drop a message, if you drop a comment and I'm intrigued, I definitely can maybe respond to you there. Other than that, what program skill I need to transmit to your engineering? Just watch this whole live session. Don't worry, Kylie. Just watch this whole live session and then um you will see what we said. Anyway, see you and talk to you later. Bye.